Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott.
and together we are Backyard Musings. We're in our living rooms. It's a little bit cold outside. Apple
It
Valley,
is.
California, Science and Technology Channel.
Yeah, we are all done with our nice weather.
Yeah.
So we complained
Yeah.
about that. Well, we didn't complain about it. We were just
We
enjoying
rejoiced. We
it. We
rejoiced
were
and
enjoying
boasted.
it. Yeah. And this is typical weather in the high desert. We go from nice to not nice. So here we are.
So what you're seeing on your screen right now is a I think it's an MRI or a CT scan of a chameleon. I'm not sure if it's MRI or CT, and it's showing that optic nerve. And we're going to talk about this how the eyes of the chameleon can go in different directions and see different things. And we're going to talk about this. Scientists finally found out how it's happening. So let's get into it. After centuries of fascination and speculation, scientists have finally uncovered the secret behind chameleons' mesmerizing, independently moving eyes. Chameleons' roaming eyes have captivated and mystified scientists since ancient Greece. After thousands of years of speculation, modern imaging technology has finally uncovered the secret behind their near 360-degree vision and remarkable ability to look in two different directions at the same time. Hidden behind each of their protruding eyes are two long, spiraled optic nerves, a feature not found in any other type of lizard. Would you like to know more?
So if you're looking at that slide and you see its tail all wound up like that,
Yeah,
I wonder if that's where the tongue goes, because the tongue is twice as long as the
I know, man.
maybe that
Maybe it's spring-loaded,
yeah, maybe it retracts
coiled.
into the tail. Okay. Chameleon's eyes are like security cameras moving in all directions. This is explained by Juan Daza, associate professor at Sam Houston State University and author of a new study describing the trait. Quote, again, they move their eyes independently while scanning their environment to find prey. And the moment they find the prey, their eyes coordinate and go in one direction so they can calculate where to shoot their tongues.
Yeah, although the chameleon's quick, darting gaze is easy to see, the internal mechanism that enables such movement has long remained a mystery. In 2017, Edward Stanley, director of the Florida Museum of Natural History's Digital Imaging Laboratory, noticed something extraordinary while visiting Daza's lab. A CT scan of the tiny leaf chameleon, Brookesia minima, revealed an unusual coiled structure within the optic nerves that he had never encountered before.
Even so, both researchers were hesitant to draw conclusions at first. Given how extensively chameleons have been examined over the centuries, they doubted that they could be the first to recognize this hidden feature. Quote again, I was surprised by the structure itself, but was more surprised that nobody else had noticed it, Danza said. Chameleons are well studied, and people have been doing anatomical studies of them for a long time.
So, a little bit about chameleons. They're found across Africa, Europe, and Asia, where they have evolved a remarkable set of adaptations for life in the trees. Their prehensile tails act as stabilizers, helping them maintain balance, while their mitten like feet allow them to grip branches with precision as they move slowly and deliberately through their habitat.
Speed is not their strength, but it isn't needed. Equipped with a powerful spring-loaded tongue, like we're just talking about, a chameleon can strike at prey with incredible force, accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 1/100th of a second.
Say that again, Scott.
1/100th of a second.
0 to 60.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick. This sticky, elastic tongue can extend to more than twice the reptile's body length, allowing it to capture unsuspecting insects in the blink of an eye. Okay. Are you there? Hello?
Yep. It's coming in and out, but I got you now.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Charismatic and unique, it's no wonder that chameleons have long captured human attention. Their distinct form and curled tail are even distinguishable among ancient Egyptian petroglyphs. Convinced there must be a published description of these coiled optic nerves out there, the team went deep into the stacks of research in search of evidence, even bringing in language experts to decipher old text published in French, Italian, and Latin, and sometimes a confounding mix of multiple languages.
Over 2,000 years ago, the Greek philosopher Aristotle erroneously theorized that chameleons lacked optic nerves altogether, instead declaring that the eyes were directly connected to the brain, which allowed their independent movements. In the mid-1600s, Roman physician Domenico Peran, Perar, Per-
Panaroli.
Pernaroli, sounds like a food, challenged Aristotle's views, arguing that chameleons do have optic nerves. Uh-oh. Is that Aristotle? What
No,
was that?
that's the bomb's not going to go off.
Okay.
Keep
Uh,
going.
arguing that chameleons, what the heck, do have optic nerves, but unlike in most other animals, they do not cross. This cross causes the image viewed in the right eye to be processed on the left side of the brain and vice versa. Pernaroli rationalized that without this crossing structure, chameleon eyes could move freely.
Isaac Newton, also intrigued by the strange structure of chameleon eyes, propagated Panaroli's theory and mentioned the animal multiple times in his 1704 book Optics, which covers 3 decades of this work and theories on light and color. In contrast, French anatomist Claude Perrault sketched the animal's two optic nerves crossing before continuing in a straight line in his 1669 book on chameleon anatomy. While overlooked by Newton and many others, this was one of the earliest and most accurate renditions of the time.
As years passed, scientists' observations came close but ultimately fell short of capturing the true shape of the optic nerves in their published research. In his 1852, what is that? Treatise
Treatise.
on the brains and what is that? I mean, is that like
A
a
treatise
report?
is like a report, yeah.
Okay. On the brains and nerves of lizards. Johann Fischer illustrated a section of the chameleon's optic nerve that included part of the coil, but the rest was cut from the figure and the coil itself was never described. Well, I don't know why that wouldn't be. Over a century and a half later, in 2015, Lev Ari Thidar, a master's student at the University of Haifa, described a section of the chameleon's optic nerve as C-shaped in their thesis. Only after an exhaustive search could the scientists confirm that no published description of the coil yet existed. Okay.
Okay, so how, after centuries of interest and study, could the true structure of the chameleon's optic nerves remain hidden? The answer lies in the power of CT scanning and open data. In past publications, scientists relied on dissections to get a look at the inner workings of the chameleon's anatomy, but the practice often displaced or destroyed the optic nerves and obscured their true structure.
Today, CT scanning technology is ubiquitous in medicine and becoming increasingly common in research collections. X-ray CT allows scientists to visualize structure hidden within specimens, including the space between or beneath a chameleon skull. Seeing the coiled nerve optic nerve in a single species of chameleon was informative, but the scientists had plenty more data at their fingertips thanks to OVERT, which is short for open vertebrae. This initiative, launched by a coalition of 18 U.S. institutions and led by the Florida Museum of Natural History, provides free digital 3D vertebrae autonomy models and data to researchers, educators, students, and the public. Hey, so earlier we talked about this. We don't have any of these guys on our continent.
We what?
We don't have any of these guys on our continent. No chameleons. There's no chameleons on North or South America.
I didn't say that, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
we didn't say. Yeah, we
Look.
didn't say that. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
All right.
research team downloaded and analyzed the CT scans of over 30 lizards and snakes, including 3 species of chameleons representing the family's diverse clades. They created 3D brain models for 18 of these lizards and measured their optic nerves. All three chameleon species studied had significantly longer and more coiled optic nerves than their fellow lizards. The results confirmed what Stanley had seen in Dawes' lab was no fluke.
The team dove further into their research to observe how these unique optic nerves formed during the chameleon's development. They measured the optic nerves across three embryonic stages of the veiled chameleon. I'm not going to go there with that Latin word for this. It's a chameleon. At the earliest stage, the embryo's optic nerves were straight, but before hatching, they lengthened and began forming the loops seen in adults. By the time a chameleon hatchling emerges, it already has two fully mobile eyes. I've seen pictures of baby chameleons. They're almost you see them. There was a Disney cartoon movie that had one of these, and the eyes were pronounced, or they were larger than life.
Bug-eyed. Yeah.
I forget what that movie was. Maybe your son would know. You might remember that because it had the tongue going on and all that kind of stuff, but I don't remember what it was.
On an evolutionary timescale, however, pinpointing when chameleons first developed this trait is more challenging. The oldest known chameleon fossils date back to the early Miocene, roughly 16 to 23 million years ago, after many of their tree-dwelling adaptations had already evolved. These fossils do not offer many clues about the order or timing in which these specialized traits evolved, but this new observation can help scientists start to infer why they developed the unique structure in the first place.
Across vertebrates, animals with large eyes tend to employ one of two strategies to broaden their field of view: move their necks or move their eyes. Owls and lemurs are
Lemurs.
famous for, what's that?
Lemurs.
Lemurs. What's a lemur?
It's a type of monkey, a lemur.
Okay. Are famous for the first approach, swiveling their heads to scan their surroundings while their eyes remain fixed. Others, like humans, have developed stretchy optic nerves that let the eyes move like telescopes. Rodents, similarly, have wavy nerve fibers that allow for greater flexibility. Okay.
Because chameleons have limited neck mobility, they likely needed another way to reduce the physical strain of moving their eyes. The solution appears to be the coiled optic nerve, which is an adaptation seen in only a few other invertebrates, such as the stalk-eyed fly. Chameleons may have evolved this feature to give their eyes extra slack, easing the tension created by their remarkable range of motion.
Even after thousands of years of observation, the natural world still have more to reveal. Scientists are now curious whether other tree-dwelling lizards have developed similar adaptations, and Stanley and Daza plan to investigate further. So there you have it.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
I never knew how fast that tongue came out. That's crazy.
and how long it was. Two
Yeah.
times the body length. That's pretty good.
Longer than a giraffe's, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, all right,
All right,
folks.
folks.
This afternoon.
Thanks for joining us.
Take care. Thanks. Okay, I'll see you in a few.